and you see any venomous snake in the world, in my opinion, any venomous snake, they're not really out to get you. But there
Yeah.
are reasons why more deaths are, from certain species, like the saw-scaled viper, or the mambas, or anything like that.
Big
Those
change.
just
Yeah.
end up killing more people, or like those end up killing more people because they live in more populated areas, or
Mhm.
because we are constantly going into their area to basically deforest or farm or mine or anything like that. Because if you take into consideration one of the most venomous species in the world, the eastern brown snake in Australia, but death count is almost non-existent, right? Rarely
Yeah.
anybody gets killed by eastern browns. How many people gets killed? It's because they're so seldomly encountered. But when you do encounter, most of the time they just kind of scurry off. I think it's the biggest situation is that a lot of these species will basically enter your house at night, cuddle up with you for warmth, and then when you roll over on top of them, they bite you, and that's how a lot of people die. So
Yeah.
a
For
lot of
sure.
times, I just don't think a lot of these folklore, or these superstitiousness, or just stories being passed down from generation to generation is just fear from one time incident and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had seen Chandler from from Chandler's Wild World. He's down here in Florida. He was recently over there in Japan and stuff like that, traveling. That's why I had learned more about that. So
Yeah, I mean, Japan's awesome, man. The species over there, we were able to find in one night. Me and my wife were able to find 6 to 7 snakes in one night. A few DORs we didn't count, but yeah, live snakes we found able to find 7 snakes in one night, and we didn't even know the area. I didn't know any spots. We just drove
yeah,
out and found the park and just kind of cruised around a little bit, and was able to find wildlife. And the great thing is, if for anyone that's looking to travel or herp in Japan, Okinawa is like Hawaii. It's just like a little awesome little island,
wow,
and the speed limit is like 40 miles an hour, so no one's speeding around and going out of their way to like hit snakes or anything like that. And they're very respectful of their wildlife. So I really enjoyed it there. And the, the forest is like, you can drive half a mile and you're in the forest. It's amazing,
wow,
man.
that's awesome. Yeah, they say the ball python market's really picking up a little bit in Japan and Korea and Vietnam and
Yeah,
stuff.
the sales
I
over there
wanted
have been really
information,
good.
man.
I don't want to say like we make an excuse to go over there because of that, but
Mhm.
it's one of the reasons we go over there is to visit our customers. That was the main reason we went over there in the first place this past year. This trip was to visit two of my biggest customers from over there. They spend a lot of money with us, and then they were inviting us to a show. And so it was the show in Tokyo. It was the big show in Tokyo. And one of them messaged me and was like, "Do you want to display some of your animals here?" And I was like, "Oh, that would be cool, but the logistics around there." Like, well, don't worry, we'll just buy the animals and whatever. So whatever it doesn't sell at the show, we'll just keep it. We'll just buy it. So like, I was like, "Oh, cool. You pick out the animals you would actually want, and that way you're not stuck with them." And I was a bit pleasantly surprised when we got there that more than half of the inventory that I sent over there sold at the show. So
Wow,
that was
that's
really great.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, a good
I know over
percentage.
here. Sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead. No, it's just saying that a lot of our inventory sold, so it was really good.
That's amazing. I know over here in the United States, you have like the next level displays, the ARS, the animal plastics. What do they actually use over there to like display the animals?
So they
You know,
build their own. They don't have like which I really like their displays too. They have a very similar display to ARS or the guy that I was with. It's a longer display. It holds like eight compartments. It's long like a gun, like a rifle case, and it holds like 8 animals. And it's 3 stacks of those, and then 2 sets of that fills a whole 8-foot table. So their displays are a little bit wider than ours.
hmm
I like them, but they're super heavy and kind of bulky. But they come with these really nice cases, so you don't like ding them around. But then, so that one was one. There was another one guy that used a different display setup. I've never seen it before. So they have different ones that they manufacture over there.
Okay,
I'd
I
imagine
appreciate
they buy it from
it.
China or something. I mean, China is
Yeah,
right there next door, so I mean, they can just
yeah.
call in and get stuff manufactured.
It's just amazing the stuff that they come out with nowadays. It's just
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah. Heck, I mean, next level displays when they first came out was like blowing people's minds. I was like, "What in the world is this?" It's a
Yeah,
Right.
pull-out
yeah,
shelf, and it comes with heats and
yeah.
built-in lights,
I
and
actually have some of his racks that he first built, and they still, I mean, they work great. All I had to do was just replace the heat tape, no bowing or sag or anything like that. I mean, they're
hmm
amazing.
hmm yeah, I really like their stuff, man. There is a price difference there. It's a little bit higher. I really like his stuff. I mean, the displays are really slick, right? I mean, it slides out. The lights just pop on. So it's a plug
Mhm.
and play. If you're a brand new breeder and you don't want to have to tote all this stuff around and go source a really good set of lights or go source, anything like that, it's a really nice setup. It's
Yeah,
plug and
especially
play.
you're in Michigan like me, and it gets cold in the winter, and you're vending, and you want to have that extra heat. But
Yep, yep.
um,
Well, you don't want to go to a show like Tinley was like that. Tinley's a little bit difficult because one year in Tinley, it was like 18 degrees outside. It was just freezing cold. And they opened the bay doors, they opened the roll up doors in the back, and all this cold air just flushes in. And my
wow.
displays are like freezing, and I'm like, what the hell? So I have to go buy heat tape, or I have
Hmm.
heat rope. I have heat rope that was running just to keep the animals like at like 70 degrees,
Yeah,
just to not freeze them out. So yeah, any cold shows would be. So I'm from the south, so there's no shows down here that are like freezing or anything. But yeah, we go when Tinley is as far north as I go, and
okay,
yeah, if you don't have heat for Tinley, you might struggle there for sure.
yeah, for sure. Sorry, Sean. Go
And
ahead.
speaking of shows, man, first NARBC show I vended, you were on the corner, and I had that big old banner of yours with that little saying looking dude. They're like, "Hey, are you Bob?" Or I'm like, "No, he's over there," because they were doing that sticker book thing, right? And I'm like,
Yeah,
"I'm definitely not Bob, but thank you."
What show was that?
that's
Was
pretty
that
cool.
Schaumburg or St. Louis?
That was St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah,
Yeah, that was the first show I had. Troy was right next to me. Him and his wife Margaret were next to me.
right, right.
Troy's
Yeah,
awesome.
good company.
Yeah, I love Troy and them. Yeah, Troy. I've been vending alongside Troy for God, probably been 5, 6 years now.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
it's good people. That's for sure. So, what got you into all this? What made you go from the hobby level to Bob Vu owning the SRE? Like, bro, that's a huge step.
So again, I've been doing reptiles full time for almost 10 years now. I started going. I did full time in 2016 when I quit my day job to pursue this full time, and the only reason I even have a reptile show, like we even have a promotion, is because Atlanta doesn't have a major show. Okay, before in 2023 we had the Reptilian Nation, which is the big show here. We really loved it. We supported it. We vended it. I was trying to promote the hell out of it to get people there. Well, in 2020 24, he sent out an email at the end of 23 saying that he's not going to come back to Atlanta. They had issues with the venue, and I was like, well, there goes our one show that we vend a year, like near that's local, that's good. So because he
Right.
canceled the show, I ended up picking up the venue and putting on the show just to have somewhere for me to vend locally. And we've already had this idea. I have a really good team. My friend Daniel does all the IT. My wife does all the paperwork. His wife does all the ordering of all the materials. So it's like we had this like really well-oiled machine already. And then after our first show, just to like cover his show, like because Reptilian Nation canceled, after our first show, I was like we're kind of good at this. Like we had about almost 6,000 people through the door for our
Wow.
first time
That's
show. It was like
amazing.
50 something hundred. I was like, hey, for our first time show to get like almost 6,000 people through the door, we're pretty good at this. I think we can do this. And
Yeah,
then,
and at that point, you're just in the learning phases, right? I mean, you
oh
can only
man,
get
dude,
better from there.
I spent so much money on dumb stuff that we definitely like. We spent $2,000 on Google ads. That was like really bad. Google called us and was like, "Hey, your ads really suck. Like, you guys spend a lot of money, and you need to talk to our advertising department." So that we had to sit down with them for like a 2 hour meeting of them explaining to us, how to like target and keywords and all this stuff that we didn't know. Again, I'm a ball python breeder. My friend Daniel does IT. We don't know how to target and what videos and what brings in the best engagement or whatever. So we spent a lot of money on that show, kind of like playing around. And then our second show, I spent 17 or $18,000 on billboards, and then come to find out, a few of the billboards that they recommended us were not really good. They're kind of